Hello and warm welcome to Kurdish Barometer program. I'm Murat Bayram and you are watching Botan Times. In the first episode of Kurdish Barometer program, we were talking about generally the program of Kurdish Study Center, and the one of researcher of Kurdish Study Center, Berfin Coşkun, were giving general informations about the research, about the project. Today we will talk about the first episode of the project, the first title. It's identity.
Yes.
You make some surveys and you research about identity of Kurds in the community. Yeah, first of all, I want to ask how Kurdish Study Center identify Kurds, and when you ask questions to people, how they are identifying themselves.
Okay. Hello, Murat, firstly, and I want to thank you for hosting me and the first episode, the pilot episode of Kurdish Barometer. As I'm coming to your questions, the first one for the Kurdish Barometer in Turkey pillar, we have conducted nearly 1,500 survey with the Kurds, and
1,500.
all. Yes.
Where?
No, across the Turkey, because Kurds are all over the Turkey. So across Turkey, we have conducted nearly 1,500 survey. For all of them were with the Kurdish people who define themselves as Kurd. To identify a person as Kurd, we are asking 3 questions to the interviewee. The first question is about if their parents are talking with each other at home in a different language. The second one is the place of birth, because as you know, the south and east part of Turkey is populated with the Kurdish people more, but Kurdish people are migrating to the near or far cities. So the place of birth is one of the determinant of Kurdishness, and the third one is in which ethnic group they see themselves, like which ethnic groups they feel belong to. If one of these questions are answered as Kurd, Kurmanji or Zazaki, we are accepting this person as Kurd and continue the survey. So yes.
How they identify themselves?
The data of Kurdish Barometer shows that the top 3 identity component of Kurdish people are Muslim, religious, and freedom supporter. But what we see different than the previous research in Kurdish Barometer is that there's a variety of identity component. For example, you are facing like the difference in Kurdish Barometer from the previous research is that we are seeing a variety of identity components. Like other than Muslim, religious, or freedom supporters, the other identity components also appear themselves. For example, like feminists, Islamists, socialists, and even Kemalist, Atatürkçü we say. And there's
Kemalist Kurdish.
Yes, and there's a direct correlation between.
I am interrupt you, but is there any Turkish nationalist but feeling they are Kurdish?
Very few of Kurds are defining themselves as Turkish nationalists, but like 12% of Kurds are defining themselves Kurdish nationalists. So it's near becoming to trend, like the Kurdish nationalism among Kurds, but I'm gonna touch upon later. So there's a direct correlation between the variety of these identity components and education status. That's why the young Kurds have more they are more open to new identity categories like feminism, secularism, like Kemalism is one of them. Yes, I can say that.
Yeah, I have been in Istanbul for years. And working as a news editor. Yeah, when you look from Istanbul or looking from another country or another state, you can think that Kurds are very homogenic. But as I understand from the research, they are very heterogenic.
Yes.
Yeah, what would you like to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean this variety, this assortment.
And also, I would like to add, every group of political group or religious group have a Kurdish profile in their mind.
Yes.
But now we can see there is not one profile. There is many, and none of them are true.
So actually, none of them are true. Also, every of them are true. Yes. So this brings us to the main idea behind the Kurdish Barometer, because there is an understanding, there's a common sense among people, like the Kurds are very static, very homogeneous, but it's not true. So the data, the results of Kurdish Barometer also shows that this variety, this assortment of how they define themselves reflect on political choices as well. So so far, as you said, there was a bipolar political system in the region and among Kurds. For example, when we talk about the political choices, the people would think that the Kurds are voting for either HDP, DEM, or the AK Party, but it's not true. So this breaking down of this bipolar system is also can be observed in the latest general election. Both DEM party and AK party have decreased their voters in the among Kurdish people, but for example, CHP has increased its votes among Kurds. So it shows that depending on this variety of identity component, the people are also in a search of an alternative political movement, an alternative political party on the political area. So yes, I can say that we are observing a slight change in this bipolar political system among Kurds.
Yeah, in that point, I would like to ask another question.
Yeah.
There is a theory. Some people says the Kurds who are voting for example, CHP, AK Party, pro-Turkish parties, religious parties, other than pro-Kurdish parties, they do not feel identified themselves as Kurds. Is it true?
Not much. No, it's not true. I mean, based on our data from Kurdish Barometer, most of the Kurds, like the two-thirds of Kurds, have a strong bond with their Kurdish identity, regardless of their political choices. So we can say that, like, for example, the voters of DEM party are having this stereotype against the people supporting the other parties. Like they are not as much Kurd as they are. For example, but it's not true. The ratio of who has the weaker bound with the Kurdish identity is not much more than 15%, which brings us that, like, among 3 Kurds, 2 of them are feeling themselves strongly Kurd, but those 2 of them would not vote for the same party or for them. So I think this is not true. The Kurds who vote for the other parties are also feeling themselves as Kurds.
I would like to jump back to your speech. You were talking about young Kurdish generation. Could you please compare young Kurdish generation and old Kurdish generation for their understanding of identity?
Yes, yeah, I'm going to give some socio-demographic facts about Kurds. So we are estimated like, I mean, in Turkey there are like estimated 12 million of Kurds who are above 17. So we are talking about 12 million of adult Kurds. But the ratio of youth, young Kurds in this adult population is more than 60%. So like 100 adult Kurds, out of 100 adult Kurds, 60 of them under 30. This ratio among non-Kurds, especially Turks, is like 40%. So we are talking about very young population. But the main intergenerational gap between this young people and their previous generation, their parents, is the educational gap. We also observe this educational gap in the identity components. For example, the young Kurds are more open to the new identities rather than their parents. But also, yes, this educational gap, and also we are talking about more urban population. So this socio-demographic change results with the change in the understanding and perception of ethnic identity, and also the political demand of towards the ethnic identity. So the main political demand towards Kurdish identity is shaping around the mother tongue, Kurdish language.
That
yes.
point, I have another question. Yeah, when you compare two generations, yeah, old generation are better to speak in Kurdish. Probably the percentage of speaking in Kurdish of old generation is higher than young generation. What is the effect of the mother tongue? What is the effect of Kurdish language on Kurds for identifying themselves as Kurdish?
So, okay, I'm going to give some ratio, some I don't know, the figures about the language. So the three first of Kurds are fluently speaking Kurdish language, and most of them, as you said, are elder people. Three of first claim that they know Kurdish, but they are like, they don't feel themselves fluent in their mother tongue, and three of third do not even know Kurdish. So what I think it's dramatic is like the elder Kurds who knows Kurdish do not speak with their children or their siblings in Kurdish. So there's a dramatic decrease in the use of Kurdish language in social life, but even so, the language is like the glue of Kurdish identity. It's the strongest pillar that carries Kurdish ethnic identity. So the political demands towards identity also shaped around the language. So this is the most voiced, most mentioned demand. Are the constitutional guarantee of Kurdish identity and the rights related to mother tongue. So I don't remember your question.
It was
exactly.
the effect of mother tongue. Yeah, it was good enough answer.
Okay.
The second part of the question is about the religious. Yeah, especially I heard and read and interview with many AK Party officers and also supporters. They mostly says it's really important to be Muslim. It's not important to be Kurdish or other nationalities. What is the effect of religious or non-religious on identifying as Kurdish?
I don't think that this claim of AKP's officers are reflecting on Kurds, because Kurds are defining themselves as Muslim as much as Kurds, because that's why they continue to claim their rights related to Kurdish identity. I don't think that if they have been asked, mostly they said that they put their religious identity before their ethnic identity, but it's not. It doesn't mean that they give up the demands related to being Kurdish. So I think it's a misunderstanding that you can be both religious and Kurd, and also have different demands towards each of these components. So I think it's a misunderstanding. Yeah.
Maybe it's not misunderstanding, but it's a political.
It has a political utility. You're right.
When you were talking about Kurdish, nationality in Kurdish community, our understanding about being nation and nationalist is different than Turkish. Can you compare understanding of Kurds and Turks about nationalism?
Just continue from the intergenerational differences. We are observing that the young Kurds have much more nationalist feeling towards their Kurdish identity than their parents. So it's one thing to keep in mind, because I think that this is my subjective ideas this is my personal ideas, but rely on my my observation in the community. I think that the confrontation areas with Turks and Kurds are getting multiplied in this generation, young generation. Therefore, they may be exposed to much more discriminatory activities than their parents. So they are holding on their Kurdish identity. But that's why that may be one reason of Kurdish nationalism is rising in the Kurdish youth. But we are not talking about, the Turkish nationalism and Kurdish nationalism are much more different to each other. The Kurdish nationalism rising, especially in the youth base of Kurds, are more Türkiye'li.
Surprised.
It's much less demanding, but it's more Türkiye'li, we are calling it, which means that while they're preserving their Kurdish ethnic identity and they have this strong bond with their ethnic identity, they also feel themselves belong to Turkey. So it's like a third way of this nationalism. They are seeing themselves as citizens of Turkey, but also based on this citizenship, they claimed their rights of their rights required from the ethnic identity. So this Kurdish nationalism is not as much as the nationalism in Turks. Like when we ask Turks how they gave, like how much they give to to their nationalism out of 10. The point is like the result is like 7.4, but it's the when regarding the Kurdish nationalism, it's 5.4 among Kurds. So it's not that yet. The Turks are much more nationalist, and the Kurds are not there yet. But it's becoming a trend, you know. It's getting rise among Kurdish community, especially by the youth.
Yeah, there's many things to talk about Kurds, but it's last minute to we have. Would you like to add anything?
Thank you for this lovely questions. It's very open-minded.
Thank you. Yeah, we are in the end of the program. For next program, see you soon. Bye.